Hey guys, it's Jeremy from the Woodshop Custom Cabinets again. On behalf of Woodshop Tool, we're going to go over the installation of the ST1530 Apprentice on your machine. First, I just want to talk about this is what I use in my shop here. This machine's already set up. It's been running this machine for about 3 years. I do have my cutter height already set. I do have my fence already set. You can notice this fence is removed on my shaper here. It's not needed for the operation. We only need to line up on one side of the fence and the other side just kind of gets in the way. If you have a split fence, you can just move your left side back, get it out of the way. All we're really going to concentrate on is having this fence lined up with your bearing or rub collar for your preferred cutter that you're going to run your rails with, and parallel with your miter slot, because that's where we're lining up our ST1530 is in the miter slot. So on the we got our G clamps removed. We got our hardware over here. These are going to be reversed from transportation mode to go underneath on the rail plates, and they're going to snug your ST1530 to your shaper bed. So we'll go over that. We can just leave our foot pedal, leave everything rolled up in the middle so we can move this thing around. If you do flip this thing up, you'll notice we have a 3/8 by 3/4 rest pads on each one of our rail plates here. You've got 6 adjustment holes if we need to adjust back and forth for our clearance from our slide table to our cutter. These rest pads here is what's going to line up in your miter slot. If you have a T-slot miter slot, you can use that, pull these off, go directly into the T-slot miter slot connection, and you probably won't even have to use these because you can tighten it down. It'll tighten down tight to your miter slot if it's available on your machine. So from there, once you have your cutter set up, you may have to adjust the height once you put this on. And you got this lined up with the rub collar bearing that you're using on your cutter. You got it parallel with your miter slot. We're ready to take this and set it on the machine. So we're just going to take it, pick it up, and line those rest pads up until they drop in the miter slot. And as you can see, we got 6 holes right here, adjustment holes. You want to be, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch from the slide table main bed to the cutter. Get it as close as you can so you don't have a lot of wobble or anything like that. You can pull your boards back. They're not sticking out so far. You don't have to worry about them turning when you're running them through your cutter. So just keep that in mind. Get it as close to the cutter as you possibly can. And that's what these adjustments are for. Miter slots are different. Some of them are back, some of them are forward. So you can adjust it out. These rail plates here, it comes 30.5 inches preset and in the number 2 miter slot hole. If you have a wider bed machine, you can release these. That's what your Allen screws are for, or Allen wrenches, your Allen keys. So you're gonna have your small Allen key. It's gonna you remove these screws here, and you can take these rail plates and move them out. You want to at least have 4 screws in your rail plate. Hold it down, 3 to 4. You can adjust it out up to 48 inches wide. So that's a pretty wide shaping machine that you can put this thing on. Pretty universal. So we got it at this point right here. Next thing we want to do is just center it up. Center your rail plates with your machine bed. And so, okay guys, we're just gonna, we'll center this thing up. I know that this thing needs to set at about 5 5/8 on my machine. We've already set it up. Just want to center it up. Get as close to center as you can. You got pretty good tolerance on these machines too. So you're going to slide in your center and be good. Now that we got the rail plate centered up with our machine bed, we got some good travel right here. Just give it a good pull back on that. Make sure your rest pads come back. And if there's any discrepancies in that miter slot, you want to make sure it's up against the flat part. So next step is going to be, you're going to need your big Allen key, one of your G clamps, and your hardware that came with it. And it just drops in this hole here, in this slot. And we're going to just snug that up to the bed. You don't want to tighten it up just yet. So we're going to snug this up right here. Snug that up, make sure it keeps sliding, be able to slide. And turn your clamp in where it'll be underneath your machine bed. Slide this up against your machine bed flat, and then tighten that down to the rail plate. So you do that, and now you can tighten your toggle bolt up to your machine bed, and that's going to keep you locked down there. We're going to do the other side, and then we'll move on to getting this thing hooked up to air and ready for work. All right, guys, this thing is mounted. It's ready to work. Our shaper fence is parallel. Our cutter is to height. We've already had that preset. If you need to preset that, I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. We're gonna take this, get this out of our way. We don't want to hook it up to the air just yet. Let's get it out of the way. We'll run and roll it in a minute. So you got your carriage stops here. They say we'll go past that point there, and we'll go past that point there. So you got plenty of room on here. This thing's got 13.5 inches of clamp down and 1.25 inches this way. So you got plenty of capability with this machine. This right here is a tear out board that we had for clamping up over here. So now that you see you got it good in motion, about 1/2 inch away from our cutter head over here. This thing will normally be shipped in that position right there. We're gonna pull it all the way over here. So you got your toggle clamp here. This holds that your tear out board. So when you're passing your boards through there, that last board coming through, you don't want that to tear out when you're coping your boards. So we'll put that in here in just a second. Now that we're set up right here, you got this adjustable cylinder. You can move it in. You can do your smaller stuff here. If you're running 2 1/4 boards, you might have to move it in. Doing 3.5 inch boards, you might have to move it out. This thing was designed to do 4 boards at a time, and just to cut that production time down from 1 board at a time on a flimsy coping sled, or doing it with a board backing blocker, pushing them through by hand. Been there, done that. Pain. So now that we got this set up right here, we're going to go ahead and just get it connected to air. Get these full plastic off that. Get this thing uncooled. However your air's running in, you got pretty good capability with all this air hose. We got that connected to air. Get your foot pedal kind of lined out where you want to get it, where it's comfortable to step on. Set this thing at about 55, 60 psi, and you'll be good to go. That's pretty much it. I mean, when you're ready to run board, we're not going to turn the machine on because it's loud, obnoxious. If you want to watch a demonstration of cutting, just watch the demonstration video, and you'll see the machine actually cutting while you're pushing through. So first thing we got to do is we got us a tear out board. You want to have one of these. I'm sure everybody has a good setup board. They've got a good setup block somewhere for their cutters. You're going to use this, and you can use this and put that up against your fence, your machine fence. Adjust your toggle clamp to where it'll clamp down on this snugly, because that's going to stay there however many more boards you're running through there. It's going to stay. This don't need to come off at any point. It runs through and back through the machine until you're done with your project. So now if you got this setup board right here, you can pull it over and adjust the height of your cutter to where you want it. You're comfortable setting that for your panels, whether they be raised panel, flat panels, whichever ones you're doing. You can adjust that within your 5/8, 1/2 inch mark, wherever your wherever you're set at in your shop. We run 13/16 material, so everything's set at 5/8 panels and all that. So, but now, here's how easy it is, guys. We got our pressure set, 55, 60 PSI. These are some boards we already ran through. Like I say, I'm not turning the machine on, it's loud and obnoxious. So, to set this up, if these weren't coked, we're gonna take these 4 boards right here, up against your tear out board, slide them up against your back fence here on your machine. That's one thing you do want to make sure that your machine fence is long enough to accommodate all 4 of those boards plus your tear out board. We're going to push those up in there, kind of hold a little pressure up on the backside and the split right here of the 2 boards, and then just clamp down, lock your foot pedal in place. Those boards are locked down here with your clamp bar. They're locked in here. They won't be able to pull out and twist on you when you're pushing them through your cutter. So this is safe, it's accurate. You're going to get a good clamp down here. No matter if you've got a slight bow, if you've got a slight discrepancy in your cut right here, if 32nd out, it doesn't really matter because this is square here, and whenever you run right there, you're going to have a good square cut on the face of this board, whether it's cut a little bit out of square or not. That's the beauty of this thing right here. This is going to, just the accuracy of putting your doors together just increases dramatically. So once you got that clamped down, this is your start position. Over to the right, and put your boards in there. Now you can turn your machine on, turn your dust collection on, and run that coke through there. We get on the left side here. We're just going to unclamp the ST1530, pull our boards back, run back over to the right, and then we're going to turn our boards around. Don't flip them. Be sure to just turn them. Because if you flip them, then you're doing it upside down. So you just turn them around. We're going to do the other end. You slide them in, clamp down, run them through, unclamp, pull them back, and you're done. 4 times increase from doing 1 board at a time with inaccuracies and blowing them out or putting them in through crooked, have to run them twice. It just saves so much time and so much better accuracy with this machine. So I just thank you guys for watching. I know it's long, but on behalf of Woodshop Tool LLC, I thank you for your purchase. Thank you for your interest, and just look forward to our tips videos, doing short boards, little small boards, and whatever else we can come up with. So thank you. And good luck on your endeavors.